So thank you so much for talking to us today. Can you start off by walking us through how you built HTC and what was the technology back then like?
Yeah, I started with building motherboards. So in terms when 1980s, I came back from Berkeley. I graduated from UC Berkeley. Then that's just started of the PC business. So I built the department for the PC and the company, and then public, and then and become one of the biggest PC manufacturer, motherboard manufacturer in Taiwan. And then I transferred that to semiconductor. So then start from then I was doing the chipsets in the for motherboard and then CPU and DSP chips. Then afterwards, since when I was building motherboard, then I have to travel around Europe to sell my motherboard. And then I used to put this motherboard inside of 8186, the big desktop machine. And then I have to drag the machine up and down.
You did that yourself?
With the train, right? Euro train. And then to show my customer the performance, and then start dreaming about, if we have a computer, very small, you can hold on the hand. You can show the people, the performance, very, very light. And you can listen to the music, you can even, at that time we never dream about, taking pictures, but, you can speak on the, to the people, I mean, call your relatives, it would be great. So since then, there's a vision there. And
so back then, nobody talked about smartphones yet, but it was your vision. You dreamed of something like that.
Yeah, it's very, very early time. So this vision actually kept for like 10 years. And afterwards, Bill Gates started with this vision of Windows CE, and he was seeking for partners. And then his Asia manager come to me and say, why don't you build Windows CE with us? And I say, wow, that's great, right? So it's very similar to what I have dreamed of.
Yeah.
So then I formed a team, and I look for a person that he's from a digital computer back then, doing the systems. He's very good in doing systems. So we get together, and then we start HTC.
Wow.
Yeah.
But back then, how did you get to be so interested in technology and computers?
I think, everything is very interesting. Like you, right? You travel around, people are very interesting.
I know, but so many years ago, nobody really talked about technology that much. And then how did you get to be so interested at the first place?
I think it's true, everything is very interesting.
Yeah.
So, you just find something that, it just happened to be nice. You meet something, it's opportunity.
Yeah.
You grab the opportunity and you went deep, right? And then you found out that's pretty interesting, right? And then you want to do well and you want to explore, and then you have this vision, then just go for it. So everything can be, can have opportunity, can have a challenge, and can learn something. That would be.
I'm curious, were you interested in subjects like mathematics or science or engineer? Were you into something like this before you got interested into computers and technology?
Yeah. I actually encourage women to study mathematics, science,
Wow.
but I'm not very interested in mathematics.
Why not?
No, not very interested. But I'm interested in science. I'm curious about why this thing will come out. What is the next trend? Why it makes things this way? So I'm interested in that. As far as the mathematics, I'm not very interested, but I encourage people to study mathematics. It's important.
Yeah, I'm not so good at it either. I know I should be better, but I'm not so good at it.
It's important.
Yeah, it is. So back to you built HTC. What is it actually? What does it stand for? HTC.
Yeah, HTC is actually stand for Chinese Hong Ta means home means very broad, grand. And Ta means that reach out. It's like broadband, right? But HTC's essence, the philosophy is pursuit of brilliance.
Yeah.
That you always seek for the brilliance and never give up, and also foster human connectedness. And that's why we have this vision about bring out the smartphone, and it's actually shrinking the distance from people, right?
Yeah.
To make people really efficiently using their time, so they can have more time to spend with their loved
Yeah.
ones. And right now, also virtual reality. and
Exactly.
Probably invite you to go see the virtual reality. Will be
I can't
actually
wait.
just break the wall from people, and actually you can explore the world that.
And you
probably
don't
will
even have
never-
to travel maybe to like that destination, but then you already see it being a virtual reality.
Yes, but the most important thing is that shrinking the distance from the people who doesn't have the opportunity to go, right? And
Yeah.
then also provide the possibility of a lot of education.
Ah,
You know,
that's
you
true.
you can train people for safety, train people for technology and skill without you actually go to the class. So then you have this environment that you can watch in real environment. This will be great.
Right. Yeah. So the question is, being a woman in the tech industry, and you have been named as one of the most successful women in the tech industry in the world. Is there anything that you have to overcome that is differently than what men would have to, like a gender bias, something like that? Has it ever occurred to you?
Well, it hasn't really occurred to me. I think it's the same as anybody. You have to work very hard and you have to take the challenge, because technology is changing very fast,
Yeah.
right? So you have to face the challenge and things up and down, and you have to really break through and catch up. But I actually encourage, right, that people give and have a better government have better policies and encourage companies to hire more women, because women contains 50% of the population.
That's
And
true.
what women think and feel and what women wants will actually change the trend of
Yeah.
consumer needs. And also the woman has a very good education, and to actually be able to utilize women's brand mentality, brand capacity, and empower women, I think it means success of a government. Yeah.
And we buy more and more too. We are
Yes.
becoming like almost the majority of the customers in the
Yes.
market. What do you think about a lot of technology companies in Silicon Valley? They are under fire for not having enough female executives. And then there's also a problem with women that Silicon Valley is lacking of women right now, because of the programmer culture, being surrounded by men and being biased because of the gender. Do you think that's something that we should be concerned?
Well, I'm always concerned if the environment doesn't have enough women, because women is a very important voice in how to producing a product, in how to look at things differently.
Yeah.
Diversity is always very, very important. And as in Silicon Valley, I think a lot of companies in Silicon Valley is already doing that. That's providing children care, and more friendly environment for women. And I think it's very important. And also, us women should know also
Yeah.
that that men should know that how to really help the wives, right? To take care of the children, and women also, right? It's children are very important, but
They are.
how to actually catch up the work when you are pregnant and after pregnant maternity leave, it's always very difficult to balance family and work. So that's an environment of the cooperation of husband and wife, and how the company understand it, because have children is very, very important. So how the company encourage it and understand it, and what is the government policy is also very important. So
That's true.
It's a combination.
I recently heard that there are some big companies out there who understand this problem, and then they start paying their female workers to freeze their eggs so that they can have an option of getting pregnant later in life. And maybe when they are
I appreciate that.
You agree with that policy,
I
right?
totally agree. I don't want to say, but then I really want our company to do the same thing. Because women shouldn't worry about when they want to get pregnant.
I know.
Right? They should have a choice of when to get pregnant and how they want to
Not
do
because
that.
you
So-
reach the age and then you just have to do it when you're not
no,
ready.
no. But when they are ready, it's very important.
Yeah.
So it's good. Under pressure, it's not right.
So it is good policy because some
Yeah,
people have been
I
criticizing
totally
about
agree.
it.
No, I
Yeah,
don't.
it's a good one. It is.
I
a good
agree
one.
with that.
We're talking about like Silicon Valley or technology industry doesn't have enough women. How do you think we should encourage more and more women to start working in technology field?
Yeah, I think how to encourage women to study, science, mathematics.
Start off by studying these subjects.
Yeah, science, mathematics, engineering. I think it's important.
Yeah.
But also that to make an environment easier, not easier, or should say more interesting.
Yeah.
Women is just different type of breed, right? I think women like interesting stuff. So I'm not interested in mathematics because I don't think I have a very good teacher before for mathematics.
Me too, actually.
I hope my teacher wasn't around anymore for
Not
the
or not
disciplines of
watching this
mathematics.
interview.
But I think if we have, that's why I say virtual reality is important. If you have the best teacher, you get into this environment, you learn the best lecture. I think anybody will be interested, right? It's not like man or woman, but it's so women just need more interesting subject, to probably touch things, to understand where the rule comes from. How does this dimensional car build like this? Why is it the wing? Why is it like this? The wing will pass. If you can be able to touch it and understand it, I think women will love it. But
Do you
just
think?
studying
Yeah, I agree.
The papers, I don't really think women will like it. So.
But there must be some up and down times for you. When things don't go your way, how do you deal with that? And who do you turn to for support?
I actually, so I'm a Christian. Okay, so if I have some problems, then of course I pray first. That's the most important thing because I know God is inside me.
Exactly.
But the most important thing is that when you have challenge, I have a challenge all the time. Immediately you think about this challenge must be teaching you something, and immediately I will feel, I will praise for this challenge. I will say, hey, that's great moment.
Wow.
This is something that I can learn something now.
So you don't get to be disappointed or just want to back down. You just feel like this is a challenge.
Well, I think disappointment sometimes is there within a human being, but I think that how fast you get out of it. And I encourage people to try to get out immediately, right?
Yeah.
Because you look at things in different angle. And when you are disappointed, it's okay. Look at different angle. It might maybe it's a blessing right, to you.
Okay.
Everything is a disguise.
It is.
It's the blessing of the disguise.
Thank you so much for
Thank you
talking
very
to us
much.
today. Thank
Yeah,
you. It's been
thank you.
great fun.
Thank you.
Okay.